website right now and download my free course on alternate picking mastery. It contains 5 essential exercises that will take you to alternate picking mastery faster than you can imagine. And then I've included my method of how to lay out a practice plan in just 1 to 2 minutes that will absolutely boost your results like nothing you ever tried before. So go download it right now. It's free. Here's how to get the most out of practicing licks. What you don't want to do is practice a lick and then go on to a new lick and a new lick, because that won't give you the ability to improvise. Licks are really great when it comes to learning how to phrase, how to use vibrato and bending and sliding and all these little techniques and use them together, because licks contain that information and it's a really good way of practicing using these techniques in combination. What it's not so good at, or what it won't do for you, is give you the actual ability to improvise. We can do that with the exercise I'm giving you in a second here, but it's not the best thing available. The best thing available is sequences if you want to improvise, because those are just cold patterns of movement, mathematical little systems of moving up and down a scale. And if you learn enough of those, then you can start combining these sequences closer and closer and put in the phrasing techniques. And by doing that, you can actually learn to create original, never played before lines, melodies, licks even, on the spot. But that's another story, and if you want to look more into that, you can search this YouTube channel and search for sequences, and go check out the website. And I should say, subscribe to this channel. Go sign up for our Instagram channel as well, so you get these little inspirational videos, licks, riffs, every single day to keep you going and keep you motivated. And our website has jam tracks, live jam tracks played by real musicians. There's a new one each day. There's a couple of hundred up there already. So go there and sign up on the website. Create a user profile and you'll see the link on top there. So if you learn a lick, let's say this is the really cool, very productive way of getting the most out of what you practice. If you don't do this, you'll simply waste your time. You'll learn something to the point of good, and then you won't go to mastery, and you won't exploit what you've just learned and really make 10 times as much out of it. And with this little technique, you can. So let's get started. I have a simple little lick for you. Right? Let's just look into it. We're in the key of E blues here, and you can do this with any lick, so don't be limited to this one. In the key of E blues, first position blues scale shape in the 12th fret. Right? I take the 14th fret, bend it up 1 whole tone, and then I play the B string in the 12th fret and the high E string in the 12th fret as well. So I go 14 bend G string, 12th fret B, 12th fret E. And then I pick the 15th fret on the B string and bend that up 1 whole tone. And you can go 12th fret high E, 12th fret B, and go right back again. So I go 14th fret, 12, 12, 15 B, 12 E, 12 B string. And this is one of the cooler licks because it has a loop to it. You can just play it over and over again. It bites itself in the rear, and then you can practice playing it over and over again. But what you then do after you've sat down, use the metronome to play it in time, get the bends right, the picking right. You play it over and over again in time with the metronome, the accents. Then you can take it to the TV, sit down, play hours of the same pattern. So it becomes an unconscious thing that's really easy to you, right? A pattern of movement that you've been playing so many times that it's almost unconscious. At that point, you start, instead of just going on to a new lick, you start doing 2 things. You play parts of it, and then you loop those parts. So, for instance, I could play the first 3 notes of it, and then I start right over. And I'll show you why this is important in a second. right? Then I might go on to the next and take a little bit more, right? And I'm looking for ways of looping little parts of it. So I might not be able to go back to the first note after hitting the 15th fret there, but then I just play an extra note of the lick in order to find a place of looping it. And it doesn't matter how many notes are in the actual. You can also play the first two notes and practice that in a loop. First three, first four. It's complex or hard to return back to the first note after hitting the 15th and bending it. So I might just include the 12th fret high E string. Now there's only one note missing. But this sounds vastly different from... Right, skip the last note of the lick like I just did. Right. And it's the same movement I'm using. I've just been practicing this for hours in front of the TV with the metronome for an entire week, right? Focusing 75% of my energy on just that little lick. Bringing it all the way up to really, really excellent, right? And now I want to go for mastery by spending even more time with it, which will make every other lick that looks just a little bit like it much easier to learn. But now you have the power of going back and forth between all these little... Right? Now you can improvise, actually. You can go from pattern to pattern. Now the next thing you do, that's the second step. The next thing is to take and start in the lick, not at the first note, but some other place, right? I could take the other bend, right? And then I can loop from there, the bend in the 15th fret on the B string. And remember, I already practiced this, but in some other stuff, with other stuff around it. So learning this will be so much easier than learning the whole lick. And then I can combine it with, say, right, I play the first three notes, and then I play this loop up here. Just 14 and 12, G and B. Right? Okay? Let's start in another place. Let's just start. And start on the second note. This B string. Play the 12th fret B string, 12th fret E string. And then I could go up to the 15th, bend it, and hit the high. It's about creating little patterns that can be looped, right? That fits your fingers as well, so you don't have to do something impossible, which you will not do anyway on stage. So I can create a little loop there to play the 12th G, 12th high E, then push the 15th fret up one whole tone, and hit the 12th fret high E string. And then I have a little loop there as well, which is within the, right? A little bit hard, there's a new movement here. But it's much easier than learning something new, right? Right? You go on like this. Find as many little pieces and bits of it and loop them over and over again. It's like you just keep on doing that until you totally exhausted that little idea, that little lick. Then you take the third step and you start ending the lick in different ways, right? Now you've begun it in different ways because you begin on... Now you start ending it and creating cool endings for it. And that can be... Right? You look at, with the end note you have on any one of these little combinations you created, any one of them, you say, what fingers do I have available? And what notes could I end on? Could I slide? Could I bend? Could I... Right? Right? And then suddenly, once you do that over and over again, now you've been working 3-4 times as long with the same freaking lick. You would have moved on right now for 2 weeks ago, but you just stayed there, and suddenly you have some actual playing power. right? Now you can actually improvise, and you can use vibrato sliding and all the techniques that were involved in that lick. This is the way to go. Don't ever learn a lick without doing this. If you do, you're wasting your time. You're like a kid in a candy store going from thing to thing, never really going into each thing that you learn, and so you'll always be scrambling. Stay with it. Use every single little resource that's in there before you move on, and I promise you, this process will be faster and easier as you go along to new licks. And you develop so rapidly towards a level that's just totally beyond the beginner intermediate level. You stay at intermediate or beginner if you keep going from thing to thing, taking everything up to good or below good perhaps before you get too bored with it and move on. Stay with it, use it, explore every single option you have within it. End the notes or end the little bits and pieces you create from it on new notes, and I promise you, you'll very rapidly develop the ability to just stay with one thing and just make it, last for 32 bars, and you just crank it, and it's really fun, and you'll never run out of licks again because you're doing this, and you'll develop some mastery here instead of just the ability to replicate what other people played. Subscribe for more free videos. Do it. Do it now. Do it.